Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm truly pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, let me ask you a question. Do you think that self-evaluation is important when living an intentional life? I know I do. And I know that most of you do too, because we know that it's an internal process. No one can look at us and say, you're not living intentionally well enough. Or, you're really doing a great job of living intentionally. Because it's an inside job. And the way that we can tell if we are living intentionally, if we are making ourselves available to the powerful force of intention, is through our emotions. And no one can tell us what our emotions are. That's all us. So when we feel those positive emotions of love, joy, well-being, pure awareness, we know that we are open to moving with the current of our intention. And when we are feeling negative emotions like anger, frustration, depression, irritation, we know that we have closed ourselves off to some extent from taking advantage of intention. And so that's all an internal evaluating mechanism. And when we do stop, when we take that pause to evaluate, what we do, what I do, and I'm sure most of us do, is we hold up an image of what we imagine we are intending for ourselves. And we also take a snapshot of where we are now and compare those two. And when we compare, what we do is start criticizing ourselves because we haven't had that experience. We haven't met that person. We haven't done that thing. We haven't become that person. We haven't evolved as much as we hoped we would. And all of those negative evaluations, those criticisms, are not helpful. They close us off from intention. So what do we do? What can we do? This week's spread is going to help us delve into those questions. This week's spread will help us evaluate how we evaluate ourselves and what might be a better way. So friends, if you're interested in diving into these questions with me, stay tuned because we're diving right in. This spread is probably very familiar to you. It probably looks to be almost the same as the one from last week, because it is. Yeah? This is my week ahead spread, which I did the weekend before this filming. And I'm using the same decks. The James R. Reed's decks, the Cosma Visions Oracle, the Prisma Visions Tarot, and the Light Visions Tarot. In addition to the inquiry cards, which are the staple for my week ahead spreads because they give me the questions that I use the tarot to answer in relation to the central oracle card. So, if you want to see information about the decks, there will be information at the end of the video as usual, and there will be links below for which decks are available. The Cosma Visions Oracle may be sold out or may need to be restocked at this moment, but I'll be checking into that, and there will be information below. So friends, here we are with the spread. Let's take a look at the first card. The first card of this spread, the Oracle card, is the Four of Embers, and it relates to the Four of Wands in a tarot deck. Now the Four of Embers, you can see, has a shrine in the middle of the forest. And you normally think of a shrine as a place to go and offer up prayers, offer up blessings, perhaps thanks or hopes. And in this deck, this card is suggesting that we take a moment to pause, to reflect. But in this moment of pause and reflect, it's not asking us to criticize. It's not asking us to see where we've fallen short or where we are lacking or what we are missing. It is asking us to celebrate. When we stop to evaluate, to self-reflect, the best attitude we can have towards that self-evaluation is celebration. It's in celebration that we recognize who we have become. We recognize what we have accomplished. We recognize what we are and where we are, in joy, in appreciation. And if we can remain in appreciation, in gratitude for who we have become and what we have experienced, we know that we are still open to taking advantage of the powerful force of intention. So instead of pausing and when we reflect, criticizing ourselves, I haven't met that person, I haven't done that yet, oh, I wanted to get that job, but I just haven't gotten there yet, oh, I forgot to do this, I didn't do that, all of those thoughts that weigh us down and pull us out, well, we can't be pulled out, but weigh us down in the stream so that we become less flexible, less able to move with the current of intention. So friends, the guidance we're getting from this spread is to pause, to reflect, and to celebrate who we are. And remember where we're going, and celebrate who we are. And remember where we're going, and celebrate who we are, and what we will become. Living an intentional life is also a life of belief and faith and trust that there is no end to the flow of intention. There is no end goal. Everything we think of as an end goal is merely a stepping stone or a milepost or a flagstone on the way. And we're going to get there. One way or another, we're going to get there. Unless we change course. Unless we decide, no, that's not really what I wanted. What I really wanted is that. That's another story. That's a different topic altogether. But those intentions that we still hold, we're going to get there unless we change them. So having that faith that we will get there, if we stay open, if we stop criticizing ourselves, if we stop telling ourselves what we haven't done and what we can't do and what we are afraid we won't be able to do. We'll do it. We will do it. You will do it. You will do it. I will do it. When we are open to the intentional life we are hoping to live. So friends, there are 3 questions focusing on this pause, self-reflection, and celebration of who we are and what we've accomplished. Let's take a look at that first question. The first question of this spread is, what's clear to me? And you can see there are 2 cards, as usual. One is the 9 of chalices, which is the 9 of cups. And one is the Page of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. Now, the 9 of Cups, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you would see a fairly portly man seated in front of 9 goblets behind him, kind of looking, I don't know, content perhaps, complacent perhaps, self-satisfied perhaps. Many people see him a little bit negatively, but satisfied, satisfaction is the general idea of the 9 of Cups. And here in this card, you see a person on a bench looking at either a sunset or a sunrise, but the beauty of that transition time, the beauty of either the something coming up or the something setting, moving into the next cycle. And whether it's a rising or a setting, it's a feeling of satisfaction with the beauty of all that is. I know I love to watch sunsets. I enjoy sunrises, but I love to watch sunsets because I'm generally a late afternoon, evening person. I'm not so much a crack of dawn person. But either way, seeing the sun go down or come up is a beautiful experience. And one of, when you're open to it, complete satisfaction. And that's what we are guided towards today in this spread. That feeling of satisfaction, because the proper response in self-evaluation, when we take a pause to look at where we are, is satisfaction. That is the proper response. You are here in this body, in this beautiful universe of amazing things. And you have become so much since the time that you entered into the baby body you were in, however many years ago that was. You have become so much. I have become so much. I learned how to walk. I learned how to talk. I learned how to grow hair on the top of my head. I might have learned to lose some hair on the top of my head, but I've learned so much. And so have you. And the response to that can be nothing but satisfaction when living an intentional life. I am this amazing creature. And now this is a little bit different than some people criticize some millennials for being the ones who want to get a prize for showing up. That's not what I'm saying. Because you have done more than just shown up. You have become. You have become who you are. And you've learned a lot on your way here. And that is cause for celebration. That is cause for satisfaction. That is cause for taking a moment and saying, yes, this is me. This is where I am. And I am happy with that. And when you feel that satisfaction, you know that you are open to the powerful flow of intention. You know that you're going to keep moving forward. And so that's what that next card is, the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is the one of new manifestation, but manifestation, fresh manifestation. It's the card of opportunity, material opportunity. Perhaps financial, perhaps health, perhaps discoveries, but opportunity. It's a card of skill development. Because when we're sitting there in satisfaction, in pleasure with who we are and where we are, we're open to new insights so much more easily. We're open to new inspirations so much more easily. A spark over here will make me think, what is that? What is that new cause for potential increased satisfaction? What is that new spark of perhaps something to look at, something to study, something to amaze myself with, to dive into? Now, the Page of Pentacles is also a card of new areas of study, of new areas of interest, or renewed areas of study, renewed areas of interest. I'm not saying put everything down and leave it behind and start something new, fresh, completely, but something new within what you're already interested or on the outside of that, beyond the realm of where your attention has been to this point. The Page of Pentacles is the one who sees the bright thing and says, what is that? What is that? What can I do with it? What can I find out about it? What will this do for me? Where will this lead me? And we can get there from that moment of satisfaction. In that attitude of satisfaction, those things, those sparkly things, become so much more apparent. Friends, let's take a look at the next question. Where will this lead us? The next question is, what is the right timing? What is the right timing? What do you think? What is the right timing? The right timing is always now. And that's why Did you notice? I hope you noticed. I'm sure you noticed. Did you notice that we got the same card twice? And I love it when this happens, because it's like an exclamation point. It's like saying, look at this. This is the answer. The answer is the Queen of Pentacles. And many people I know love this card, and I do too. The Queen of Pentacles is a beautiful card. My personal card is actually the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Pentacles is also a beautiful card. It's a card of nurturing. The practical, earthy nurturing. The nurturing of bounty and abundance. The nurturing of nourishment. Of nourishment in the physical world. And nourishment in the physical world is always a here and a now event. It's not a, okay, I'll feed you later. Or what do you mean? I fed you last week. It's a here and now event. You can't nourish someone in the future or nourish someone in the past and forget about it. Nourishment is a constant, in the moment event. It's a card of the charitable mind. Yeah, I gave at the office is not a charitable mind. Yeah, I'll get it to you next week is not a charitable mind. The charitable mind is one of the present moment. It's a noble mind. It's not a mind of becoming or have become, but being in the moment, in elegance, in bounty, in abundance, here and now. And that is the timing. So, as we pause to reflect on our lives, we also know that as we feel that satisfaction, we are also nurturing ourselves. That emotion of satisfaction is an emotion of self-nurturing. It's an emotion of self-care. And from that place of fulfilling ourselves, of nurturing ourselves, we are so much more capable of nurturing others. The stereotypical person, I don't want to gender the person or nationalize the person, but the stereotypical person who is sacrificing to serve others in the sense of, oh, it's okay, I will do without, I won't eat, you eat. I won't be happy, you be happy. I will give all of my happiness to you, and I will suffer in silence. I will suffer in silence so that you can be happy, is not nurturing. Nurturing is from a place of abundance and joy and well-being and pure awareness. From that place, we can nurture oh so much more effectively. So what is the right timing? The right timing is now, in the pause of satisfaction, in the pause of self-nurturing and then nurturing others. So friends, what is the next question? Let's take a look. This card, or this group of cards, is asking the question, what is the easier way? Because when I started this video, I told you the harder way, the more difficult way, the way of pain and agony and self-criticism and self-doubt and self-evaluation in the negative sense. The difficult way, the painful way. However, what is the easier way? We have two cards answering that question. One is, again, the Four of Wands. Did you notice that? The Four of Wands is an echo or a reflection of the Four of Embers, which was the Oracle card at the center of the spread. The center of the spread gives us the whole answer. And we're reminded of that in this question. What is the easier way? The easier way is celebration, is taking the pause. Perhaps remembering to deliberately take a pause, take a break, and celebrate how far we have come, who we have become, the experiences we are having now and the ones we've had until now. Feeling for the harmony around us. It's there. The harmony is there. Even in the middle of a riot, you can find some kind of harmony if you reach it, if you reach for it. It might be stepping back and limiting your area perhaps, but you can always find harmony. Perhaps it's only internal harmony, but harmony and joy. Joy with who you are and where you are. And relaxation. Living an intentional life is not living a life of exertion or working hard and putting in hard effort. It's a card of easing into the flow of the current of intention. Now that doesn't mean we don't move our bodies, we don't exercise, we don't work, but we do it from a place of joy, from a relaxed and expressive heart. We can relax and exercise at the same time. We can also tense up and exercise at the same time. We have choices. Have you seen an athlete who is running, just running, and you can see that there is so much ease and grace within that powerful action? That athlete has relaxed into the powerful movement of their bodies. And I think I mentioned it last week, glistening, glowing in their power. Now that's hard, looks like hard work, and they are working their bodies hard, but they're relaxed into it. Yeah, they call it the zone. So, celebrating who you are, where you are, relaxing into the flow of intention. And the next card is the King of Chalices, which is the King of Cups in a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. The King of Chalices, emotionally balanced, relaxed and emotionally balanced, and able to bounce with the waves that are around us. Yeah? The King of Cups can keep their emotional balance in a turbulent sea. The turbulence around does not affect them in the sense that they are not bounced back and forth in the turbulence. They're centered. They're moving with the current, but not knocked down and knocked over and keeled over by it. Now, the King of Chalices is balanced and compassionate and caring and able to move their emotion out towards others from that place of ease in the emotional waves. Like a buoy on a turbulent sea, able to keep upright and stay in place, no matter what's happening around the buoy. Have you ever seen that? A buoy on a wavy, turbulent sea? The buoy's there and it's riding it, just riding the wave. Doesn't sink, doesn't get knocked over, moves a little bit, but that's just balancing. That's just balancing. And it flops right back upright. That's the King of Chalices. And the King of Chalices can also direct their empathy, their compassion, their love, their joy out towards others. Now, in this card, you can see the current flow being directed by the King of Chalices. Now, the flow of energy being directed. We can do that when we are in that moment of relaxation and celebration of who we are. We are the king of our emotions. We are able to direct them even in unstable looking environments. And that is part of living an intentional life and being able to influence others. When we are living purely and fully our intentional lives, we are the influencers of other people. We have an effect. Whether they say it or not, we have an effect. And that's one of the additional joys of living life intentionally is that we can influence. We don't change, we don't manipulate, we don't correct, we don't teach directly. We influence. Our way of living is a shining star that says, come this way, come this way. This is the way to go. So friends, what do you think? I think this spread is beautiful. And I think it is a perfect time for this spread, that we can all take a pause, take a break, and evaluate and celebrate who we are, so that we can be the shining light for others, and so that we can continue powerfully, beautifully, nobly on our intentional life. So friends, if you want to see the cards, remember they're going to be coming up at the end of the video. And if you feel inspired, hit that like button, subscribe, and click the alarm bell so that you get notifications if you haven't already and know when I upload videos. Comment below. What do you think? How do you feel when you take that pause of self-reflection, of taking stock of who you are and where you are? Who are you? Where are you? If you want to tell me that, I'd love to talk about it. And as always, friends, share with those who you think might get benefit from this video. And I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.